Hi, I'm Rhonda Buss, and welcome to Sewbusted's Closet, my closet. And as I move away, the portion that you can see that it is a very well-stocked closet. To call it a well-stocked closet, I don't know that that's exactly true. I think a better way to describe it would be an abundantly stocked closet. I think that's a little better way to describe it. Most everything here I've made. I've been sewing for a very long time, so now I don't have clothes from when I first started sewing. I always like to joke about that I began sewing, I've been sewing since Adam and Eve walked the face of the earth, so a little bit of a stretch, but I do not have clothes from when I first started sewing. I was just a little child, so that wouldn't happen. I recently had a visitor, a young woman, 17 years old, and she was in my closet, and she was very intrigued, and she wanted to know the percentage of my wardrobe that I made, and I said I never really thought about it that way. So she began to ask, did you make this? Did you make this? Yes. And every time she touched something, yes, I made it. And she said, well, then you've made everything. It's 100%. I said, no, it's not 100%. I have purchased things, and I pulled out a few things that I've purchased. But she determined that over 90% of my wardrobe I've made. And yeah, that's true. And, like I said, I sew. I enjoy sewing. And, I do a number of things. And so you need different clothes for different things, and the wardrobe just grows. But I thought I would come to you from my closet today because I came across a TED Talk video. Now let me just say this. I love TED Talk videos. I always learn so much, and if you've never listened to a TED Talk video, I would encourage you to Google 10 best TED Talks. And those 10 videos are really quite good, quite interesting, and they just might make you a TED Talk junkie too, like me. But anyway, I came across a TED Talk video that was done by a young woman. Her name is Jennifer Scott. She lives in California, and what she was talking about was having a 10-item wardrobe. Yeah, I think like me, to think about that is a little bit unfathomable. How do you have just 10 items? And so what she proposes is that, of course, you build your wardrobe based on your lifestyle and what you do. So you might have, for instance, a pair of skinny jeans, a couple of pair of slacks, a couple of skirts, a dress, maybe 4 blouses and a sweater, or 3 blouses and 2 sweaters, but that's your core wardrobe. And then you will have other garments, so it's not just 10 items and 10 items only. Maybe you have 2 or 3 t-shirts, a jacket or 2, definitely coats if you live in a climate where you need a coat, workout clothes, swimsuits. So it's not really just 10 items. There's more to it, but it's the core pieces, the pieces that you wear each and every day, that it's a 10-item wardrobe. Now, I will say this, I don't think I'll ever have a 10-item wardrobe. I enjoy variety too much. And now, in all honesty, what she says is that with a 10-item wardrobe, you can have variety because your pieces are interchangeable, and especially you add a scarf, jewelry, and it makes things look very different. Again, I don't think that's going to happen to me, but it did inspire me. It inspired me to kind of look at my wardrobe with fresh eyes. So I came in, and doesn't look like it, I know, but I did weed it out a bit, thin the herd, so to say, and sent a big bag of things to the resale shop. I've done it before, so it really wasn't that difficult. It's just a matter of, for me, it's just a matter of doing it. Now, I know for many of us who sew that, we've spent a lot of time on our garments, and to just give it away, it's a little bit difficult. And sadly, they end up languishing in our closet. And, is that really the best thing of this garment that just reminds us that either for whatever reason it didn't work out? And so I've learned just let those go. Now, what Jennifer also did is she wrote a book, and it's called Lessons from Madame Chic, 20 Stylish Secrets I Learned While Living in Paris. She actually had a wonderful opportunity to be an exchange student while she was in college, to spend a semester in Paris, lucky girl. And she lived with a Parisian family that inspired her in so many ways. She says that when she arrived, that she had two bursting at the seams suitcases, and she walks into a room that was just this beautiful, lovely little Parisian room, and she remembers looking, and here was an armoire. That's it. That was it for her closet, just this sweet little armoire. She opens the doors, and there were 10 hangers, and she thought, where am I going to put everything? And over the time that she was there, she observed the woman of the house and how she had a very limited wardrobe, but she was always very stylishly dressed. And it was how she interchanged those garments and made them just look lovely always, with adding a scarf, like I said, jewelry. And so it was something that she learned to adopt for herself. So she wrote the book. The book is really quite good, and that was what I wanted to, that was the other thing that I wanted to share with you today, not just the TED Talk, but the book. When it comes to looking at your wardrobe, she has a few bits of advice, and when you're looking at things, and do I still like this? So it could be something that you've made and that you at one time loved, absolutely loved, but now not so much. So if you don't love it, get rid of it. Do I ever wear this? And I know, truth be told, I have garments that will hang for a while, and sometimes I go back to them and sometimes I don't. So the question of, do I still wear this? It's really a question of, is it something that I think I will wear again? And honestly answering that question, does it still fit and flatter me? That's a hard thing. But I think getting in front of a mirror, a full-length mirror, trying your clothes on and getting in front of a full-length mirror and really being honest about it. A number of the clothes are going to go in a bag, and that's what happened with me, that I just realized, no, these things, they don't look that great on me, and it's time to say goodbye. Does this article of clothing still reflect who I am? And as we go through our lives, we don't want to wear the same things that we wore when we were 15 years old or 25 years old, and styles change, we change, our tastes change, and just how we want to portray ourselves to the world changes. And so going through your wardrobe and asking yourself those questions, I think really does help to let go of things. And like I said, it doesn't really look like I've let go of things, but I have. Now she's written 3 books actually. The second book was at home with Madame Chic. It was an interesting book. It was a good book. It wasn't my favorite of the 3, although I will say that she has some nice little recipes in here. One recipe that she has was just a simple fruit salad, taking fruit, whatever you have, and then the dressing was with Grand Marnier, my favorite, my absolute favorite liqueur, by the way, and orange juice, a little bit of sugar, and mint, fresh mint, chopped fresh mint. And it sounded so good, I had to give it a try, and it was absolutely delicious. But it's one of those that I think if you do make the salad, that you really should let it maybe sit overnight, because the Grand Marnier then really does kind of, all the flavors meld and get into the fruit, and it's really quite good. And so it's nice to have for yourself and nice to serve to your guest. And that's one of the things that she talks about in the book, is being a very gracious hostess, but not killing yourself, pulling your hair out when being a hostess. her third book, which I just finished, is Polish Your Poise with Madame Chic. And I found this book to really be quite delightful. So my two favorite of her three is her first and her third. The second one is It's a Good Read. There was a little bit more in the book about, excuse me, there was a little bit more in the book about being a mom, which I'm not raising children, so it really didn't apply to me, and so I just kind of flipped through those pages. But all in all, I enjoyed the book. So I'm not saying don't read the book. If you enjoy the first book, I think you'll enjoy the second book, and you'll definitely enjoy the third book. So my wardrobe here. Before we go, I thought I would just show you a couple of pieces, and if you know, my sins are showing. You can see at the very top of you can see all the lineup of my shoes. I do love my shoes, and I do wear them. I really do. I had a friend walk into my closet one time, and she looked up, and then she looks at me and she says, "You are my hero." I'm not really sure why, but maybe because I have so many shoes. But anyway, it's something that like I said, I enjoy. So you can, like I said, my sins are showing a little bit. But I thought I would show you just a couple of garments. One thing that I have that I'll show you that I think is kind of sweet is I was actually my husband's aunt before she died. Her daughter was moving back in with her, and they were cleaning out the second floor, and her daughter came down with this jacket and thought it was rather funny, and I saw the jacket and fell in love with the jacket, and they were going to give it to Goodwill, and I thought, oh, may I have it please? And so she was so happy that I liked it, and she gave it to me. And it's a vintage jacket. I'll show it to you. On the back, it actually has a Mexican couple. If you've ever seen the movie Steel Magnolias, one of the ladies, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she is actually wearing a jacket just like this one. But this is all appliqued and embroidered, even along the collar. It's a felt jacket, and as you can see, the front of it is embroidered as well. The little pockets here, and even on the sleeve. It's from the early 50s, I think. And the great story about this was her husband actually bought it for her on their honeymoon, in all places, Niagara Falls. I don't really know what Niagara Falls has to do with this motif, but anyway, it was very sweet, and I grew all the sweeter to her because I wanted her jacket. And so her granddaughter, whom I call my niece, I had felt a little bit guilty that I had it, and because she enjoys vintage garments too, but she said, no, Rhonda, you keep it until you're ready to give it away. So that was very nice of her to allow me to continue to keep it. It's just a great jacket for wearing with jeans and whatever, whenever I need a little something extra in the fall. I just love wearing it. It's kind of fun, kind of kitschy. And I actually have another one. This was a resale shop find, and this one is a little more, this one's not quite as flamboyant maybe as the other, and you can see the patchwork on this one. It's also a felted wool. It just has the work on the back. Fun to wear, just a lot of fun. This one I'll actually wear with a skirt, maybe a wool knit skirt, pants, whatever, but they're fun to wear. I can show you other things. Of course, we could stay all day. I'll show you quickly this is my jacket that I made. I took a Susan Calgi class because I wanted to know about doing a quilted jacket, and one of the things that I always like to do is make a little bit of fun of myself and show my sins. So here you can see a nice big pin, and the reason why the pen is there is because the buttons are so heavy, and the pocket will fall open, and so I'm not using the pockets anyway. Now of course I could stitch it shut, but every once in a while I do want the pocket open so I can just unpin it. So anyway, another one of my little sins. One of my favorite pieces is this little jacket here. It actually buttons. I used an Asian inspired fabric, but it has that kind of a feel to it anyway, and it has an asymmetrical closing. The jacket is very nice. I enjoy wearing it, but my favorite piece of all is my skirt. And this skirt is actually made by weaving ribbons together. It's just, like I said, it's just one of my absolute favorites. So I used four different types of ribbon to complete the skirt. And I can show you on the inside. You can see at the hem where it comes, or here better on the side seams. You can see on the side seams, and there's just a silk shin-tongue backing that the ribbon is on. It's woven so that it's tight enough that it's not really stitched down. In fact, you can put my fingers through it, but it's stitched on the side, and it does have the darts here, and then just a little silk charmeuse lining underneath it. I will show you this. Now, I had this silk charmeuse lining, and I didn't quite have enough. So what I did is, rather than putting a hem in it, I added this little lace edge to it, so it gave it kind of a slip, kind of a feel. Anyway, like I said, one of my favorites. And another vintage garment that you might like, and I wear it with the skirt quite often, is this little sweater from the 50s, and with the skirt, oops, sorry, it's really quite nice. So, like I said, I could show you garments all day long, and I would say that pretty much everything in here there's everything that I enjoy now, but like I said, the book did inspire me, and so I would encourage you, take a look at her video, maybe check out the books. I did not buy the books. I actually checked them out of the library, and it's Chicago Library, they're available. So, and take a look at her blog, The Daily Connoisseur. I think you'll enjoy it as well. And like I said, I think it'll inspire you a little about letting things go, and just polishing what we have, so that when we do come in our wardrobe, whether it is a 10-item wardrobe or a 10,000 item wardrobe like I have, that everything here is something that you really enjoy and enjoy wearing, because life is far too short to have things looking back at you that you don't love. So have a great day. Thanks for coming by. It's always nice to have you.